Hey, it's Don the Auction Professor. Today we're going to talk just about sourcing and how to find the items that I personally find and sell every single day of the week. Hey, it's Don the Auction Professor here. Holiday season, I get a lot of questions. One of the biggest ones and the ones people find the most issue with is how the heck do I find the items that I find? I get questions like this every single week over and over and over again. Not the biggest question I get, but it's one of the top ones. For me, the stuff that I get, there's no magic trick to it. It's all standard sourcing, at least standard for me. If you're not out sourcing in the same places that I go, the same types of establishments, you're not going to find the stuff that I sell. It's just a fact. I was a clothing seller and book scanner for quite some time. I did all of that. That's how I started off into some of this myself, going full time. It was easy enough to get into. Nowadays, things have changed. My thrift stores, the main ones that we used to source at all the time, Savers, have been closed for a couple of years now. Goodwill scans or sends them off to a higher end auction. The Salvation Army has similar processes as well. They have local live auctions even around here for some things, bigger items. So for us, it's not the same thing as it is for many people. We were forced to go into other categories because, again, we couldn't source. I don't like clothing, never liked clothing. About the only thing in clothing-wise that I do enjoy are some of the jackets and some of the early concert shirts. We still mess with those. Jackets, leather-wise, always, because if I can wear them, I usually keep them. I've got quite a big assortment of leather jackets that I do wear. But as I've said, there's no magic to this at all. I have no special tricks to find this. I've just looked outside the box and have been able to source a ton of paper items. Now, I misquoted in another video. I said we had 350,000 or so items in our inventory. That is not a correct figure. I have probably 400,000 pieces of paper that we have not listed in my inventory right now. I probably have close to that just in records, and then a ton of other stuff. Now, all of that was bought dirt cheap in big mass quantities for the most part. Now, back when we first started, I did have to source one by one items just like everybody else. I've learned through the last 10 plus years of doing this full time, easier and easier ways to do it year by year. It's taken me time. I didn't just start out and look for the items and then immediately that year I was already making money in something else. It takes time to learn the items that you are going to sell. It takes time to learn the categories. It takes time to learn where's the best, what's the best, price-wise, all of that stuff that takes time to learn. There is no shortcut. I can tell you that right now. Clothing, there may be. Antiques and collectibles, there really isn't. But for collectibles, you have to know something about the items to do well in the category. You also have to spend a lot of time into this. Once you get it, though, I am telling you, you've gotten past the hump and everything should be good as gold and just rolling from there. But you got to break through that spot where you're having your bottleneck. Most people's bottleneck is, where the heck do you find the items? The items are all over the place, I assure you. I have sourced when we lived in Florida. We've done all the way from Pensacola, through the Panhandle, all the way over to Jacksonville, and even into St. Augustine. From there, I've went all the way down A1A coast, all the way to West Palm. I've sourced all the way down into Key West. We did the I-4 corridor from Tampa, Orlando, and Daytona. We've sourced the entire area from St. Petersburg all the way up the coast, Destin, and all of that area before, many times when we lived in Florida. We sourced in Mississippi as well when we lived there, from Tupelo down to Meridian. We went both sides, east to west, across from Meridian. We've done all the way through Jackson, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. In Alabama, we've also done from Montgomery to Birmingham. In Louisiana, we've done New Orleans all the way up to Lafayette, Breaux Bridge, all of that area. When I worked in Dallas for a little while, on and off, I sourced all around the Dallas area. I've sourced in Denver, Colorado. I've flown into Whittier, and I've sourced all through Whittier, California, through Los Angeles in that way as well. I've sourced through Georgia, Glenburn, Valdosta, Atlanta area myself personally also. I've done through South Carolina when we went up through the A1A area through the coast. I've done New England when I worked in Salem, Massachusetts area, Boston. So we did Boston, we did Concord, New Hampshire. We went through the entire New England area myself. We did Brimfields many times also, which is just the bomb. Up here in Ohio, I go all the way through up to Saginaw, Michigan, all the way down to Detroit. I hit Toledo area all the way down to Columbus, and in some occasions when we're traveling down to the coast, I'll go all the way down I-75, hit Cincinnati and Lexington right after it, and then just continue on down. I've been in Charleston. I've been all over the place for sourcing. Wherever we've traveled, I have sourced and been able to find the vintage collectibles in every single one of those places. Without a doubt, those places all were places sourceable. Now, I've said this before, the best source places when we first started out sourcing ourselves for collectibles, when the thrift store market was dying, was local live auctions and estate sales. Those were the two top ones, tied for each other back in the day when we first started. That hasn't changed. Estate sales are great places to source. Now, don't be intimidated by estate sales. And the same thing goes for local live antique auctions. Don't be intimidated. The stuff is out there. I promise you it's out there. I source daily and find whatever I seem to look for routinely. I find the same things over and over and over again. I wouldn't have 500,000 items in inventory, all just in vintage paper, had I not been able to do that. You've seen the videos. You've seen me pick up close to 10,000 records or 3,000 or 4,000 pieces of sheet music for almost nothing. So that's just a little bit on what I find. You see me in the halls. You see me bringing in stamp books with tens of thousands of stamps on occasion. That stuff is all out there. Same thing with postcards. I can get postcards 4,000 or 5,000 at a time, buying out a huge collection, estate sale, all kinds of different options. Local live auctions, I've also bought thousands and thousands of postcards or paper items or trade cards or whatever the case may be. All of this stuff is out there. You're just going to have to dig in. There is no easy way. I can't walk everybody to these locations. It's just not physically possible. But I assure you, without a doubt, the stuff that I sell is fully out there. Just do some comp searches on all the items that I sell. Just do completed listings and look at how many are up. There's no way on earth that these items aren't out there if there's that many items up. There's hundreds of thousands. There's millions and millions of postcards for sale, not just on eBay, but on other sites. The HIP platform has millions and millions and millions of postcards and paper items up there. The stuff is completely out there, without a doubt, and readily available. You're just going to have to look outside the box and dig into it. Again, there is no magic. There is no big insider secret that's going to, boom, open some big door for you. I've given it all to you. The sourcing locations are there. I assure you, if you're not finding them, you're not digging in hard enough. There's ones within 100 miles of your area. I would almost assure you that there's going to be some. Again, every sale you go to is not going to have stuff, but once you keep track of the places that you go to that don't get you any return on your investment, you're only going to be going to the good ones from that point on. Eliminate the bad ones and move on from there. It's going to take you time. You're going to have to make a map out. You're going to have to source everything in your area. Look in the phone book. Look online for locations. Look for thrift stores, secondhand shops. Even good places such as pawn shops can get you vintage items. I bought postcards at pawn shops. I bought records at pawn shops many, 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 many times. It's a standard place to look for. Antique malls are good. Junk malls, rummage malls. All of these terms you can look up and find stuff in your local area. I assure you, all of those places that I stated that I've sourced in, I 100% sourced in those areas and always found stuff that I was looking for. I've given you the top areas. Big antique malls are great too for me. You may not do as well in a big antique mall because you won't know what to look for, but you got to start off small. Estate sales are always good places, as I keep saying. Estate sales, great place. Church sales, great place. Tiny little ma and pa secondhand stores, awesome. Even if they just state furniture, a lot of those folks, if you ask them, have access to paper and vintage items while they're buying the furniture. They may not put it out in the store. They may have an antique booth on the side. Many people miss the biggest thing you can do to find stuff, which is ask. I have said this over and over again. Even at garage sales, I'll go and find some collectible items or something at a garage sale. They won't have records or postcards out thinking there isn't much value in them. I'll just do one simple thing, which I say all the time, which is ask them if they have something. Flyers. Bring flyers if that's what it takes. Print up business cards if that's what it takes. And pass them out wherever you go. Buy 1,000 of them. Don't just buy 100 of them if you're going to do heavy in this. 100 business cards and me, I could hand out in a week easily without any problem if that's what I was going to do. To locations that could possibly source for me. That is a way. There's people that put ads online. Craigslist, Facebook. There's just so many places to source. It's not even funny. I've looked on Facebook and there are stuff on FB Marketplace also. So wherever you want to look, take a chance on it. If you don't find something there, move on and look somewhere else. That's all there is to this. Again, I'll say this one more time. There is no secret magic trick to sourcing. All of the big top sourcing places that I go to and find everything that you see in my stores is from the places that I talk about. There's no other sourcing abilities or anything else needed to do this. It's all right there in front of you. I hate clothing, as I've said. And I know there's many other people that hate clothing, but that makes you money. So don't give up clothing if it's making you money until you've figured it out. Take your time. Learn a certain area in collectibles. Start with postcards. Start with sheet music. Start with something that's easily, readily available. Every day of my life, I could buy sheet music, postcards, stamps, coins, tokens, paper of all various types. Those are key items that show up all the time. Every day of the week I could do it. And I could do that 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. probably every day of the week, somewhere within, say, a 50-minute drive of my house. Because antique malls are usually open till 9 o'clock at night in many of these cases around bigger cities like this. If you're in a small town, you're going to have to drive somewhere. The phone book's online these days too, so everything is online. There's directories of businesses you could look into. Auction houses, banks sometimes are even good sources because they know when houses are going to be auctioned and the belongings will be coming up, and you can check and look into that. Locally is just an awesome source. You don't have to have pickers to do well in what I do. I didn't have pickers for quite some time, several years, when I was sourcing the exact same items I am still selling to this day. Again, there is sourcing abilities at thrift stores depending on where you're at, so I'm not knocking thrift stores, but here, where I live in this area, there's just not many places to go. The best sourcing ones were the Savers. Nowadays, there's no good thrift stores in my area near any of the higher-end sections of town. Whatever's happening to the material that used to go to Savers and donated to them, I have no clue, but it's not going to the thrift stores as I used to see them. I know sourcing isn't the same wherever you live, but for all of the items that I sell, all of those locations, and I can almost guarantee you wherever I landed my feet, I would be able to source something in my same genre that I sell in, all of these same niches. So as I said, it is out there. It is out there for you to find. Competition-wise, I don't have much competition in what I sell because the chance of you finding the exact same item that I have is very slim because it's all vintage. It's all random. It's not like a specific Reebok shoe or a specific shirt or anything like that. These are random cards from 100 plus years ago, or random pieces of paper, random sheet music going back to the 50s, 60s, records from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. These are all just random items. It's not as specific. I can't just source a Led Zeppelin #1 every single day of the week. It doesn't work that way. It's all out there, though. I promise you, if you want to dig into this. I hate clothing, and I'm not going back to clothing. Don't need to go back to clothing. I didn't look to go into selling full-time like this. That was never my goal. It's just what happened. I got very good at it. I know my areas, and we've made a ton of money on it. But the way I've started is exactly the way I was telling you. State sales, local live auctions, antique malls, top sourcing locations for me when I was on my own, just me sourcing and paying for our bills here. But that's about it for you today. Hopefully that gave you a little more inspiration on what you need to dig into. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.